Thank you very much. And hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Chris. We are live, and it's Saturday. It's day for racing, and it's GC Racing. What you are watching just now, I'm Carlos Porcel from Granada, Spain, and I'm with my dear friend Adrian Fernandez. Hello, Adrian.
Hi, Carlos, and welcome everyone to this second to last round of the 2021 season, which is still kicking, still going on, and we do have a fantastic event in front of us on a great racetrack like it is the Road Atlanta, one of the most appreciated racetracks for the sim racing community on one of the heartland portions of the United States of America, and I think everyone is going to have a very good time enjoying the 3 races that we have today.
I hope they do, because it's guaranteed that the track we have today for us to watch is exciting, to say the least. It's one of the most changing tracks in altitude, what altitude refers to, and it's going to be complicated. It's a hell of a roller coaster. Road Atlanta, the track today, and we already saw how the drivers dealt with danger yesterday in the practice sessions. We saw Victor de la Fuente, we saw Jonathan Alvarez, and we had a bit of a taste of the speed that we are going to get to see in this magnificent track in Road Atlanta. We must thank our sponsor for this week event, which is Be Social. Thank you very much to them for making this possible, and please check them out at besocial.es or .com. I think both terminations work properly, and we already are in the starting the server and the practice session, and we already have a bunch of drivers inside of the track. And I must remind all of our viewers that you can visit allgratefulhearts.org to check our schedules, as well as donate to all of the great causes that Grateful Hearts has ongoing. Each of the donations you make will grant you tickets for the raffles, and as well as tokens if you use those tickets in the raffles. So it would let you participate in the GHA jackpot in the last round today, 30 minutes. That will be in the last round of the event today. First, we'll go through 2 15-minute races, which their respective qualifying sessions and practice sessions, and we already have our drivers in the first practice session of the day. We are seeing Ricardo Marina Rollon with the fire car of the first responders and the number 9 in his car. It's going to be interesting to see how they go through that first sector, which is quite twisty. What do you think, Adrian?
It is absolutely fantastic to drive. It is a blast, and it's probably the most iconic portion of this Road Atlanta circuit. The complex of S's that just go downhill, and with varying lengths, varying apexes, and everything that makes it such a complex challenge for every driver that goes through it, especially on this racetrack, which is kind of a haven for sports car racing in the US. It's always been, even after the remodelation that suffered in the late 90s, which among other things created this very chicane, which Ricardo Marina Rollon is right now transiting, going through. And overall, it is a continuous roller coaster and up and down, fast corners, and where you really need to compromise the setup of your race car to be fast as you can on the fast turns without compromising your top speed. It is a fine balance where the finest drivers, just to be clear, the drivers that have the most care for how the car goes through the corners and are the most clean through that, are probably the ones who are going to benefit the most from their style of driving. But I think we're going to have fantastic races. Almost every other race at Road Atlanta is, and yeah, well, let's see what it goes through down here. But I'm very excited to see what happens.
They say that the last turn in this track, or they say from Laguna Seca that the corkscrew is almost 6 floors or 5 floors, and this part we are watching right now, David Ceballo go through with Arca Products, the number 48. It's 4 floors, between 4, 5, or 3, 4, I don't know. But
That's
the thing is that it's a really big drop, and the sensation that you get when you go through this track in real life must be really amazing. And it's amazing that we can experience how the cars behave in iRacing, which is the platform that we are using in this competition. And we are watching a lot of the drivers, and we have a big pile of drivers inside of the minimap. We can see how they are spread through the back straight, and how they are going to get to the back straight better set. But it's I think it's going to be incredible to see the whole pack go through that last turn in the track. We already had a spin in there in that turn before the straight. Martin de Jong in the center of the camera with grateful hearts, and it's been a very intense season, and today it's a very exceptional day for Jesus, because he's not being able to compete today. So it's quite we are sorry to say that Jesus Cecilia is not going to be competing today. He seems to be ill, or something has happened with him. He was with nausea and stuff like that. So we hope that he gets to recover and he gets to feel better. And let's hope that we get to see him in Hockenheim.
Of course, always health has to go first in this kind of situations, and we wish him well on a quick recovery. From that, we hope that this is just a quick bump of those that goes and comes and goes, as they say. But we're going to miss him today racing, and this kind of opens the door for all of his competitors to actually have another kind of references. Obviously, the David Perez, the Jonathan Alvarez of the world, all those drivers, Manu Rio Largo, which is also present this weekend, and some other drivers that might also have something to say here at this racetrack. So yeah, this is going to be, I think, a very exciting battleground for all the 3 races.
Very glad to see Manuel Rio Largo as well, and I wish to see Jesus back soon. Let's see if he gets to recover in this first sessions, and we get to see him in the last session. I don't know, but let's hope that it's that way, and if not, let's hope to see him the next week. The heart-to-heart international driver will be substituted today. We'll see what driver takes that car. I'm not 100% sure if the number 8 car. And we are watching Sander Kafa having a real troubling moment for the rest of the drivers as well. to dodge Sander there in that sector, having a great crash.
You say it, and hopefully for him, no one got it really. There was not a lot of trouble for the drivers behind. For the most immediate ones, of course, there probably is, but they have still some time to actually make their valid attempts to have a reference time heading into the qualifying session. Remember, this is the practice session that goes just before the first of the 3 qualifying sessions, and those are going to make up the grids for the races. And so far, Jonathan Alvarez is setting the pace with a 210 advantage, well, a Ford 100 advantage over Manu Rayo Largo, and then 2 tenths back we have Victor de la Fuente, then Daniel Herrera, one of the newcomers, in 4th place, and Victor Lobato in 5th. And yeah, we still have a good mix of those usual suspects on the honorable positions.
Very glad to see Daniel Herrera in 4th place already. I must remind all of our viewers that this is still the practice session. We still have 3 minutes of it, and after it we will head to the qualifying session. Very nice to see Daniel Herrera, the number 38, already going around the track, and I'm very glad to see him back. Although he is new in the season, he already was with us in the 2nd season, so I'm very glad to see him back. The 2nd car of Kinetic by Windstream today, with a high chance of staying in the top 5, it seems. That's what Daniel is bringing. 19.5 already in the clock for him, and we are watching Carlos Fernandez Espinosa go through 10A and 10B. The number 33 with Monrose Skincare going downhill, heading to the last turn of this track, in which I'm sure that today we're going to get to see a little bit of spinning. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's a dangerous place, and we must be concerned about these 2 turns, the first one and the last one, because they are very fast and very dangerous overall for the drivers.
You might not be 100% sure, but you probably will be 90% sure, or 90 degrees sure, which is the degree of the spin that the drivers are going to have, or maybe 180, like this one from Samuel Bulkema. That's not a perfect 180, but we'll give it a 9.5 for effort, as he was trying to set up a fast lap time through the start of the SS. Obviously, that did not go to plan, but they are just taking those risks. Fortunately, they don't have a downside on doing so, and just getting everything ready for the official sessions, which are going to be the important ones.
Today we're going to get to see the fastest lap and the fastest 360 in the race. Let's see who does that first. We already saw some drivers having a little bit of a spin here and there, but I'm sure that if they go out in those very fast turns, you are going to get to see them spin very, very fast. As a matter of fact, we know that the last turn is very dangerous, because they have concrete walls to the left and the right, so they really have to be careful. And if they do fall out of the track in that place in particular, I think it's going to be the end for most of them, at least, to have any possibilities to stay in the top rows. Beñat Artano with SRP, the number 30, and as we head to the qualifying session, because the practice session has already ended, and we must thank our sponsor for this week's event, which is Be Social. Thank you very much for making this possible, to them and to all of our sponsors that you can see in one and every car of the big line of cars going out of the pit lane right now, trying to set a time. Beñat Artano in front of Carlos Molina with the Spec Ops, as well as that CVT Bosses and that Bikini USA car. And already a crash inside of the qualifying session. I just saw that CVT Bosses car have a great crash into the wall. And it was in turn number 5, if I'm not wrong. Where
Yeah,
we
looked like it.
Yeah, where we
Now we
already
need to know
have
if it was Carlos Blanco or Juan Romera, because the two of them are wearing the CVT Bosses colors. That's an early stop to their proceedings. But fortunately, as this is not bound by the rules of real racing in terms of the stoppages times, they all go on because the cars clean themselves after 1 second with the reset button, fortunately, and all of us can continue racing, which is at least for this time just qualifying. And well, let's see what the first times are on the board. I'm really intrigued to see who's gonna come out of top in this qualifying session, because I think there are 3 names that are probably the most likely to.
Well, if I can tell you one thing, is that turn number 5 already looks like the turn where you're going to fight in the replacements for the car later on the event today, because we are already setting a big pile of pieces exactly in this point here.
Lots of carbon fiber there.
Yeah, it was quite dangerous already for Sander Gaffa and that CBD Boss's car, which I have to confirm who is that CBD Boss's car. If you can check Carlos Blanco, the number 6. Yep. We already saw him had a little bit of troubling times, and we are watching Carlos Molina with his backups, the number 26.
Some of them actually making that line through the chicane just before starting or ending their laps. You gotta make sure when you do that to not be too interrupted by the car in front, and that will obviously benefit you if you're able to get that slipstream accordingly. But this is not a racetrack where you get to benefit too much from that effect until the back straight, which is not that long compared to other racetracks. So you gotta really measure up how much you're gonna risk. And we're seeing those first times on the board. We see that David Herrera has actually beaten David Perez first time out by 2/100ths of a sec. 2/100ths of a second. Yeah, I said that right. And yep. Victor Lovato 1/10 behind in third. And let's see what Jonathan Alvarez manages on that first time out. But so far, the lap times are very, very close on the front of the field.
Let me tell you, I know who's coming back to show the pack, and already Jonathan Alvarez answering the call. Daniel Herrera with a very nice time, but even nicer with Jonathan Alvarez very close together, the 3 drivers in the top 3. Less than 1/10 of a second between them, and I'm sure they're going to bring something to the table today, Adrian.
And Jonathan Lovato just 15/100ths behind, so yeah, that's very, very close indeed. And I'm excited because this looks very close. And now look at Manu Rayo Largo putting himself in first, 0.2 of a second faster. So we've had 3 different drivers rotating at the top of the field in just 2 minutes. And right now, as you said, the sheriff is out of lunch, so to say, and he's left the office open. And now everyone is fighting over to see who's gonna get to wear the hat of the sheriff today in Road Atlanta.
Let's see, because it's getting very interesting. And I must remind all of our viewers that you can visit allgratefulhearts.org to participate in the GHA jackpot as well, the raffles. Making donations, you will win tickets to participate in the raffles. If you participate in the raffles, you will win tokens that will get you to the GHA jackpot that we will celebrate in the last round today. We are in the first round of qualifying sessions, heading to the first round of racing, and we will have 3 of those. 15 minutes in the first 2 rounds and 30 in the last round, in which we will celebrate that GHA jackpot, in which we really hope to see you participate and donate in allgratefulhearts.org to make that possible. If you get those 6 numbers for the GHA jackpot correctly picked, you will win $10,000. The first 4 will be composed by the first 4 drivers in the last round, and the last 2 will be picked randomly. So I wish you good luck, and let's see who gets it right today.
And there's been some happenings in the last few races that we've had that I think are noticeable to see just how the thing goes. We've seen some different drivers getting to the win column during the season, which is always nice to see. But we've seen drivers that were absolutely used to be on the podium week in and week out fall out of the podium, especially Jonathan Alvarez, which was almost a mainstay on that top 3 positions. He won the second race that we had last time out at Spa-Francorchamps, but the other 3 races that he's had out of the last 4, he's finished out of the podium. And one of them, he even had an incident close to the end of the race. So he's still being very competitive, but the results have not come as easy for him as they used to be, and that is a good note to make out of the increased competitiveness of the field with the drivers that have been entering the championship week after week. And now that Cecilia is not available for this race, for this event, that makes it the more interesting.
It really is an interesting qualifying round already in this first session, and we are watching Stefan Haldner with the EMS first responders car. The number 21, the German driver, making himself go through the back straight, heading to those 10 A and B turns, which I'm sure a lot of the drivers are really digging in terms of braking. They really have to brake. I think it's going to be, if not, it is for sure the hardest braking point in the whole track.
Yep, and I think that really the passing zone is there in the chicane, but I will not discard the upper section of the racetrack, the double 90-degree corner complex, which was formerly known as the tree corners, before the tree that was on the inside. Well, I think it is still that way because there was a tree on the inside of those turns. It was taken off ever since. It was a shame, but it is one of those spots where you can also make a surprise move on any other driver in a particular situation. But I think the drivers are already aware of that this stretch where we're seeing David Perez going by is probably the best opportunity for that late launch that may give you an extra position. As with 6 minutes to go, Limorti trying to find the limits, finds the
Bad crash there into the wall. Nacho Limorti with Kill Pop Radio, the number 17, meeting the hard wall in that 6th turn, heading to the number 7 turn for the straight. And we have Carlos Paixão Barbosa as well with Renato on the number 13, the Portuguese driver, going through 10A and 10B, and going fast.
We gotta give major props. We've talked about Daniel Herrera, which I think is going to be one of the top contenders today. Also props to Manuel Maroto, who is running in this Miguel Maroto, sorry, which is running in the second Healthy Nails car, the 37, who's running 7th right now between Victor de la Fuente and Adrian Baeza. So he's another driver that he's competing for the first time today in this G-Sim Racing Championship, and he might be one of the spoilers as in one of the races, maybe.
And I'm very excited to see Daniel, not only because he's my friend, but because I know he's a great driver and he's going to bring fire in that top section of the drivers list that we have today. Victor Lobato was like that in the middle of the season, and he was very consistent and very strong through every race, although we saw him having trouble in that crash in Laguna Seca with Manu Rio Largo. That was very harmful for his points, for his scoring in that point of the competition. But we see that is going to bring a great spicy feeling to the top part of the drivers list, to have Daniel Herrera with Victor Lobato very close, Jonathan Alvarez as well, and there we go with Kinetic by Windstream, Maven Motion Pictures, and Victor Lobato that was with the Regency Beauty Pageant. And those cars are going to get to battle each other. Victor de la Fuente, very displaced from his natural positioning, which is third place in this moment. 3 minutes and a half to get to the end of the qualifying session, the first qualifying session, and we are watching the number 11 Diego Bande with a police car for the first responders, and it's starting to get very, very interesting. So we are heading to the break point, we can say, and I don't know if it's going to be like that yet, but we will. So I hope that all of you watching stay tuned, no matter where we go or if we stop or if we don't. But I hope that all of you at home are enjoying what we are watching right now, and we expect to have you right away, because we are going to take a little quick break